you from Museum Africa in Newtown, Johannesburg. A warm welcome to the Art Bulletin. The spoken word will come under the spotlight at the 16th edition of the Poetry Africa Festival, which kicks off in Durban tomorrow. Actor, poet and musician Saul Williams is among the international acts that form part of the celebrations that are all things music and poetry.
The 16th Poetry Africa Festival has finally arrived in the country. This 6-day affair has toured countries like Malawi with poets from across the globe. This leg of the festival includes open mic sessions, workshops, book launch, seminars and music. As from tomorrow, Durban will be abuzz with beautiful melodic sound as these poets mix and exchange about the craft and business of poetry. Poetry Africa ends on Saturday.
It's the only national event dedicated to animation. That's Kunjanimation, and for 5 days, local industry players and international industry players will gather and focus on the art of animation through a series of workshops and screenings.
This year the festival is happening in Johannesburg and in Cape Town. The main event's happening in Cape Town, and it's expanded from 2 days of screenings and 1 day of workshops to 4 days of screenings and 5 days of workshops. It's all going to be happening around the V&A waterfront at the Ster-Kinekor Cinema Nouveau and at the Pavilion Conference Center. The workshops are a real mixture of stuff. We've got a Paris-based animation school called Gobelin, who are giving character animation workshops with a DreamWorks character animator who worked on Kung Fu Panda, Alex Saboyan. We have some business conferences with industry leaders. We have Triggerfish Animation giving us sneak previews of their next film, Kumba.
The House of Hunger Poetry Sessions under the care of Alliance Française is turning 3 years old today. In celebration of their 3 years in slam poetry, the movement has invited 2 international acts that specialize in poetry to share their skills and knowledge. Teddy from the Reunion Islands will come to share his experience and also discuss the theme of poetry in the Indian Ocean. Magali Brazil is the director of the House of Poetry of Nantes in France. She will participate in the annual Poetry Africa Festival and then move to Johannesburg, where she'll share her experiences with the young poets of House of Hunger. House of Hunger, which is celebrating its 3rd year of slamming, jam sessions and poetry, will also host Black Tuesday from Joburg, King and Bijana from Durban, Morgan Gomwe from Zimbabwe, Galactic Nebula also from Johannesburg and many more. The event takes place next Saturday at the Joburg-based Alliance Française in Parktown. Magnificently crafted writing and flawless performance. That's how one critic describes Sunday morning coming to the Old Mutual Theatre on the Square. The one-man play features James Cunningham and will be on until the 27th of October.
I would describe it as a comedy drama. It is largely comic, but there is also a very serious dramatic part to it. And I suppose it's a kind of coming of age story. What sets it apart from a lot of the work that people might have seen before is that there's a strong text base. That's really a beautiful script written by Nick Warren, but we've brought with it quite a lot of physicality. So there's quite a marriage of the visual mime elements, imagery with the spoken word.
Nomfusi Kotyana, who simply goes by her first name on stage, is launching her second album titled Take Me Home Tomorrow. The 14-track recording features Ringo, Kam Kam and DJ Clock.
The album is as my original idea of fusing Motown music and Sophiatown music. So this album is definitely a melting pot of that, of jazz sounds, African sounds with country sounds and a little bit of that rough guitar in it. So it's a melting pot of just music, you know, in its full capacity.
The University of Johannesburg's FADA Gallery will be blinging on Wednesday evening. This as students from different institutions will be displaying their designer jewelry for the Breaking Patterns Jewelry Competition by Tutuka. The brief given to the participating students or jewelers in the making was to work with pattern in innovative ways in jewelry design. The students were also encouraged to draw on both their personal experiences and our collective South African heritage. The University of Johannesburg will host the exhibition of designer jewelry pieces that are competing for the Breaking Patterns competition. With a number of tertiary institutions participating in the jewelry exhibition and competition, an evident South African aesthetic seems to be emerging in the various styles of design. Winners will be announced on Wednesday the 17th and the exhibition will be up until Saturday the 20th. Museum Africa, or Africa Museum as some still call it, is arguably at the heartbeat of Johannesburg's art precinct, Newtown. The museum houses a variety of exhibitions, some permanent and some visiting.
Africa Museum is the venue we've been broadcasting from over the past 2 days. It is situated right at Joburg's Art Precinct in Newtown. This place has some permanent exhibitions which trace back the beginning of humankind in Africa and South Africa's political journey.
That's it for today's Art Bulletin. Much appreciation for tuning in. Do remember to catch us again next Saturday. In the meantime, keep in touch with us. Our email address is morninglive@sabc.co.za. Our Facebook page is The Art Bulletin, and in brackets, Morning Live. That Twitter handle is @The Art Bulletin. Until next week, it's a goodbye from us.